Hey everyone, have I here, bro? Video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, we're going to be going over the Part 2 Yellow Coin LR PaiKuhan. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So it felt like a long wait for the preview on the Part 2 LR, and finally we got it. It is going to be LR PaiKuhan. This was not a surprise, given that we ended up getting the EZA to Dokkan Festival exclusive PaiKuhan in Janemba. I made a prediction video way before that, and I kind of wish it was some of the other characters I was talking about. I was talking about Hit, I was talking about Oob, I was talking about, of course, you know, LR Boo, Kid Boo, that is. That seemed like it's never going to happen. Even LR Krillin, but we are going to get PaiKuhan. I'm okay with it, but you know, PaiKuhan's had some love in terms of a Dokkan Festival exclusive. Just got the EZA. It would have been nice to see something else. I think it would have been a perfect timing to have a LR standalone Hit or Oob. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive into the details here. So this unit is going to change the yellow coin meta, which I've been waiting for. We've been in category, dual category, key plus 4 150 for seemingly like a very long time, and now what we're going to be getting for this unit here is a new category, a new meta, and this is technically the first time ever. You might say, like, when LRs were introduced, when it was the 90%, the OG 90% leads, they're still kind of relevant in leader skill. But ultimately, this is the first time that yellow coin LRs actually have viability in terms of running teams, because yeah, we are in the 250, 220. We have the carnivals at 220, but 200 works well currently right now. So this adds value to the yellow coin LRs, and I think it was a very nice surprise, because generally yellow coin LRs, the leader skill is, you know, irrelevant, but 200%, that's right, 200% leader skill is, and it's a dual category as well, making it better. The yellow coin LRs right now are better than the original series of carnival LRs, which were single category 200%. So yeah, let's make this bigger so we can see this. There we go. So here it is right here. And Otherworld Warriors and Saviors. Now, I understand the reason why they ended up doing these two categories, because they're very small categories, to say the least. But they do have some very strong units. We'll be seeing if this actually turns into a top 10 team. Be very interesting to look at. But let's go ahead and dive into the details for this unit here. Starting with the 12 key super attack, greatly raises attack and defense for one turn, causes colossal damage to enemy, and greatly lowers defense. Whereas the 18 key super attack is greatly raises attack and massively raises defense for one turn, and causes mega colossal damage to enemy and greatly lowers attack. So a double buff here. Again, if you're fighting certain units that you can debuff, this could be a very effective unit. Now, it's very interesting how they set up its passive. So the base effects are very strong here. Key plus 3 attack and defense 250%, high chance of evasion, and then randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow key spheres, besides physical, of course. And this is a super physical unit, by the way, which I think I got right in terms of, did I guess STR physical? One of the two. I was like, one of the two we were expecting to get there. So yeah, rainbow key spheres. So orb changing, rainbow orb changer, dodge, and a nice solid base buff there. And then when there's another Otherworld Warriors, which if you're running the team, it should be fine to do, or tournament participants category ally attacking in the same turn, all allies key plus 3, 40%. So this is very strong, and I hope future yellow coin LRs actually provide some sort of support, because again, it just adds additional value having a good unit, a leader, and support very strong here. So this is where again it gets like kind of interesting here. So as I'm actually going to read this second, so as a second or third attacker of the turn, so we've always wanted like first position, but this is going to be a second or third position unit. You're going to get guard, you're going to high chance of performing a critical hit, launches additional attack, has a high chance becoming a super attack, and then additional 20% to evasion, giving you that great chance, that 70% chance. So pretty standard here in terms of its boost. You're gonna have guard, so it's not an overly dodge or die situation, and then you're also gonna get attack and defense 150%. Now, for some reason, this is a one time only. Right, here's the one here. If you're a second attacker in the turn, you're able to boost up your other worldwide or the other world warriors or tournament participant category allies damage reduction by 10% for 2 turns. So it seems like if you're in kind of a rough situation and you're like, okay, my first position unit is maybe in trouble, I might move this person in the second position, because seemingly you're going to run this as a floater, right? Because you look at the boost, right? You got attack and defense 150% and 250%. That's it. You do have guard, but then you have the 70% to dodge. It's not going to be tanking, and second position is okay, but again, that you only could be able to do this once. It would have been nice to have like 3 turns, I guess, versus just or yeah, 3 turns versus just one turn, but or sorry, 2 turns, but just one time, maybe 2 times. I don't know. Anyway, this is just kind of a weird, you know, one-time benefit running as a second attack in a turn. Anyway, so this is a support leader orb changing dodging unit, and you do have guard if you do get hit. On occasion, of course, that 30% chance. So you definitely probably want to add additional evasion in your hidden potential, and you know, have the ability to dodge even more so. So I think it's a strong setup. It's just this one is kind of weird, right in here in the middle of this second attack of the turn for 1 turn only, or sorry, for 1 time only for 2 turns. Now, on top of this, you do have a active skill. So the active skill is basically a transformation. I know a lot of people are making fun of this. It's called active skill seriousness. Get serious, right? So time to get serious, PAIKUHAN, and it's pretty easy. It's just activating from the 4th turn from the start of the battle. So pretty easy to do that. I think most people are just going to be running this unit as a 3rd position floater anyway. So I don't, it just really depends on maybe like the final boss or the final enemy that you're fighting. You might transform, because when you do transform the PAIKUHAN, the serious PAIKUHAN, so here's serious PAIKUHAN here, he does lose the ability to support, but then he hits like like no other. It's the amount of damage this guy is going to produce is quite huge. So it's ki +5, attack and defense 300%. You're going to guard. You have a 70% chance to dodge. You have a 70% chance to crit. You have a ki +2 per rainbow key sphere obtained. Randomly changes key spheres of a certain type, except for physical, to rainbow key sphere. So you keep all that. Then, before receiving an attack on the turn, you have an additional 10% evasion, and then ki +3. And then when attacking, attack and defense 50%. When attacking with 12 ki or more, attack and defense 70%. When attacking with 18 ki or more, 100%. When attacking with 24 ki, 150%, and guaranteed hit. You know, the enemy can't evade you. And then for every rainbow key sphere obtained, an additional 30% to attack and 10% to, well, yeah. So if you get 3, you're gonna have a 100% chance to crit. When for rainbow key spheres. So this unit, when you get serious, is designed to end the fight, right? Which again is, in certain situations, this is going to be a very strong finisher. So it's not like a finishing attack, it's a transformation to get serious and then get into the final form here in terms of the attack ability for this unit. So very strong. You know, look at all the buffs here. So you do give up your support for basically the end game of the transformation, the serious portion of things. So the 12 key super attack is greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn and causes colossal damage to enemy and greatly lowers defense. And then the 18 key is massively raises attack and defense for 1 turn and then causes mega colossal damage to enemies. So again, the design for this unit is interesting. It is, I think, going to be very valuable in terms if you want to run Otherworld Warriors and Saviors as your leader skill. You transform into kind of a finishing rotation, finishing attack here, and you support. So all in all, I think it's pretty solid. Now let's take a look at the team. This is where it's kind of the concern is like, okay, who's going to be now first position? So you can run, because Otherworld Warriors, you can run the 10-year anniversary LR. So that's going to make this team very, very valuable, right? So of course, these are going to be second position until the third turn, and then you move on to move these guys to the first position, then you transfer. So really solid there. But for the time being, right, in between those, the time frame, who's going to be your first position, in a sense, tanks or dodge type units? You're not going to run Pikkon because it's second or third position. So who can you run? So unfortunately, I think the options are going to be over here at Saviors, and maybe that's the reason why they added over here. Is I think it's going to be Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, and then Super Saiyan Namek Goku, right? I think these are going to be your first position units, which, or I guess you can. I'm trying to think who else you can probably bring that can at least tank for a couple turns until you move this in first position, and then of course transformation. Yeah, there's not a lot. So the biggest issue with this team here is going to be slot 1, and I think Gotenks is going to be fine, especially with the 40% boost. But it is, still iffy there. Yeah, and then of course you can have him transform. So, but you have to wait until third or fourth turn as well. Yeah, I don't see like. I really thought that Beast Gohan was on Saviors for some apparent reason, but he's not on Saviors, and that would have helped out this team tremendously. But it seems like it's going to be these two units that you're going to be running first position. With the boost, I think it's going to be fine, but it's just generally going to be dodging mechanics as well. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to kind of mess around the team, see if this is going to be in the top 10. It's going to be in contention, being that you can run both of the 10-year anniversary units. But we have to figure out the rest of the team. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about the LR new meta 200% yellow coin LR Pikkon. Is this what you guys wanted? Would you guys want something different? Again, I was kind of going with Oob or Krillin, possibly even Bye Guys, Cell Games Goku. Yeah, I'd love to know what your thoughts are. If you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Keep on Dokkaning. We'll catch you next time. Later.